Hello, and welcome to this interview with Frederick Ballet, one of our artists presently on display at the Alpha Art Gallery's current exhibition, Shifted Nature. We'll be going over some of his work, artistic process, as well as pieces graciously contributed to both our physical and online presentations. First, we'll start off simple. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, Chris. Thank you. And thank you for having me.
Great. We'll also start off with a little background. How did you get into nature photography and what led you to it over the years?
Well, the beauty of the natural world has always filled me with an existential fascination. As a teenager, I became interested in photography. I would often go to the Bronx Zoo and take pictures of zoo animals with an old Olympus camera. Work and family commitments took their toll over the years, and photography took a back seat. I retired 3 years ago from as a hand surgeon, and I've since had the time to recommit to my passion. I'm fortunate enough to live at the beach, and I'm able to take pictures of the ocean and bay at various times of the day and during different seasons.
So, what strikes you to take a photograph? And are you hoping that those same urges are ignited in your viewers, that your inspiration transfers over?
Yes, that's a good question. When I have a camera in my hand, I see the world differently. The environment, the color, light, all take on a deeper, almost mystical aura. It's this vision that I seek to capture and pass on. My goal is for the viewer to leave with a meditative sense of peace, beauty, and timelessness.
That's wonderful. So, another key thing about your works is their sometimes painterly quality, with double spray coming to mind. Can you talk in a little detail how you created that piece?
Sure. First, in the way of a little bit of background, I'm not what you'd call a photographic purist in the sense that I have no problem editing an image to fit my vision. Certain genre of photography, like street photography or journalism, you it's almost heresy to edit those pictures significantly. But again, when I'm doing something artistic and creative, I have no problem varying the tone, the color, the composition. I use a variety of techniques, including intentional camera movement, where you'll move the camera as the shutter is open, creating a movement effect. I oftentimes take multiple exposures and combine those images. In the digital darkroom, it's called compositing. I'll use different blending and masking techniques as well. The effect that I achieve, therefore, is in camera, in post, or a combination of those techniques. The image that you're referencing here was taken using a slow shutter speed on a tripod, and the upper part of the image was taken from another image, hence a composite.
Something else that strengthens how your pieces come across are the rich and vibrant colors, like those seen in Pink Morning and Water Stripes. What do you think about color's role in your works?
Color is huge in my work. I strive to create color and temperature contrasts. What makes a good picture, in my opinion, what makes a good image is number one, having a well-defined subject and background. Number two, the image has to be balanced. You have to have perspective. You want the picture to be simple. Now, the thing that's most important to me is the synergy, how the color, the tone, and composition come together to give that emotional impact.
Morning Coffee has a combination of rich detail on the shore and then almost brush strokes in the sky. Can you describe some of how the texture plays into your pieces?
Sure. In general, I can't say texture plays a major role for me, although I enjoy contrasting for beachscapes, for instance, the roughness of the sand with a smooth sky and ocean. Um, when I feel that the texture aspect of the composition can enhance the aesthetic, I have no problem using it to advantage.
Your works at the Alpha all center on the beach, but are there any other subjects, natural or otherwise, that you've taken an interest in photographing?
Yeah, that's another good question, Chris. Most painters and photographers that I know shoot and paint what they know and they love, what gives them inspiration. While I enjoy taking portraits, street photography, and wildlife photography, I don't often have access to that subject matter. I look forward to the day when I can travel again and use these skills in different settings.
So abstract shells stands out as kind of a different piece compared to your others. What were you trying to convey with how this came out?
Well, that was an experiment. Being stuck in the house during the pandemic, I was trying different things. I was looking around the house and I saw we had a jar of small seashells and sea glass. So I said, well, let me see how I could use this creatively. So we had this glass table. So I put the shells on the glass table. I fired a strobe or a flash from underneath the table. At the same time, there was beautiful natural light coming in through the window. So I used the combined effect of the natural light and the artificial light to create the lighting. Firing this flash from beneath the glass table just really increased the luminescence. So I took one picture of the shells, one picture of the sea glass, and then I blended them, as I alluded to previously, taking multiple images, blending them to create that effect. And it's a cool abstract. It's one of my favorites.
It certainly came out really interesting.
Oh, thank you.
So what is your ideal time of day to take photographs, if there is one?
Sure. I find the pre-dawn and post-sunset times to work best for me. The light then is just ideal. You want to avoid the harsh light in the middle of the day for the most part. You want a smooth light box effect. That gives me a relatively small window, maybe 15 to 20 minutes before the sun comes up or after the sun goes down. So you have to work efficiently.
Yeah. Of all your works, which one is your favorite, if you have one? Or if you don't, which piece would you like to talk about in a little bit more detail for a moment?
Okay. That's a hard question to answer because I have so many favorites, and what you pick one day, you're going to pick another one the next day. At the end of the day, however, the favorite is the one that you're going to return to, that you're going to look at. You're going to see something different every time you look at it. One of my favorites I labeled Shore Break Abstract. However, I usually don't name my work. I use catalog numbers. For shows and galleries, sometimes the name is requested, so I include that. But I don't want to lead the viewer with words. I want the image to speak for itself. This particular piece has beautiful contrast in colors, tone, and texture. It has color complements, the red, the cyan, green, magenta, and blue and yellow. The subject and background are interchangeable. It's simple and has good perspective. I'd also like to add that what you're looking at is an image on a computer. It's backlit, if you will. The way I present my work for homes and galleries, businesses, I mount them on as a face-mounted acrylic. And what this, excuse me, what this technique is, I print on a photometallic paper, and the reason I use photometallic paper, it's a very vibrant paper. It's then bonded to a low glare or a non-glare acrylic, and then in the back of it, it's an aluminum composite for rigidity. If you've never seen an image, mounted like this, it really just pops. The light comes in from the sides, the top, the bottom. There's no frame. It's a very contemporary, clean look. And the image stands proud from the wall by about 3/4 of an inch. So you routinely get a drop shadow, depending on what angle the lighting is coming in.
Good. And how has the COVID-19 pandemic reshaped your process, if at all? Has it impacted your work in any way?
I don't think it's changed my inspiration. It did give me an opportunity to sharpen and increase my editing skills.
Thank you so much. I don't have any more particular questions. However, if there's anything you'd like to add that you might have thought of during the interview, maybe pieces that you're currently working on, feel free to share.
Yes, thank you. Um, I'm going to have an opportunity to spend some time in New York in the relatively near future. So I really look forward to taking some of these skills to the street and urban environment. I want to see if I could create a more abstract image of the urban environment. So I look forward to that. I'd also like to thank you, Chris, and all the staff at Alpha Art for the opportunity to present my work. If anybody's interested, you could learn more about me and my work on my website, frederickballetphotography.com.
Thank you so much again, Frederick. Thank you for speaking with us. Thank you for sharing. And if you need any more information, you can look in the description of this interview for more on Alpha and more on Frederick. Thank you.
Thank you.